MyLeadSystemPro. This is Roxana Hannah, back to you with our speaker series for Live the Dream 2. And our special guest right now is Ferny Ceballos of SEO Networker. You probably know him as Ray and Ferny, Raymond Fong and Ferny Ceballos. They are the creators of SEO Networker, but of also the event No Excuses, which we've talked about many times in our speaker interviews so far. And so here he is, Mr. Ferny Ceballos. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Oh, great. How are you doing?
Super. Thank you so much. So when I talk about SEO Networker and a couple other companies, I refer to all of you as MLSP. I don't business partners. Even though we're not technically, partners, we have sort of an allegiance. And I'm not going to say alliance because, we're not at war with anyone. But
conspiracy. I like conspiracy.
We have a conspiracy, and we're only going to let you know if you come to the event.
We are the Illuminati, yes.
So you guys have a terrific event in this industry. And sort of when I think of the No Excuses event, first of all, it's a great event because it's at a time of year where it's like we've all missed each other. We sort of went through the winter, and then it's the first time all of us in the online, so internet network marketing world, that's what I think of No Excuses as, the internet network marketing world. However, sort of the offline stuff has begun to trickle into the teachings of MyLeadSystemPro and also of SEO Networker. But you guys are SEO gurus, right? So how have you seen from where you guys are coming from? How have you seen the sort of offline world fold into what we're all teaching now?
Well, I think at this point, since attraction marketing and internet marketing for our industry has matured and become, I guess I would say competitive, not super competitive. There's we have people rising to the heights, to the top of this industry very quickly. Even today, a few of them are people like Michelle Alpha, and so there's definitely plenty of opportunity for the people that are willing to do the work. But as things become more competitive and more people find out about using the internet for growing a network marketing business, we're looking for any competitive edge we can get. And that competitive edge for a lot of people like Ray Higdon, who is just absolutely a monster, is using offline to supplement the online stuff. So when you talk about generating leads, you generate leads any which way you can. If you generate say 20 leads online and you're able to, about your day, able to generate 5 more on your own, I would say those 5 are more powerful leads than the 20 you generated online, but that's 25 total leads. Now you combine that with, you put them into your funnel, they get all your newsletters and whatever it is you send them via email. On top of that, you pick up the phone and actually follow up with them and create that rapport and eventually do the things that you're taught by all the great leaders in this industry to give them an opportunity to join your business and find success for themselves, then that makes this whole process all that much more powerful. So I think that's what's happening. People are looking for that competitive edge. There's people today still building downlines without picking up the phone. Dagan Smith is a prime example. But the hard thing with creating downlines only online and from your bedroom or home office or wherever you're doing it and never picking up the phone is you're going to experience attrition very quickly. And so if you're only growing a business online, you're not shortchanging yourself. You may be, but the most important thing is you're shortchanging the people that are joining you because they're not having that personal interaction with you that they need in order to grow. Therefore, you won't grow. Your downline won't grow.
Oh, that's a great perspective. One thing that I found most interesting was when you said those 5 are the sort of like the likelihood of those 5 that you meet in person of joining your business is greater than, say, the extra 20. That's because of that sort of human person-to-person contact is what you're referring to, right?
Yes, absolutely. People want to know they're joining a person. They're joining something that's not just a computer or some software online. They're joining a team. They're a part of a community. Network marketers. I was just on the phone with Diane Hoffman, and she offered great perspectives. People want to feel like they're joining a family, a safe place where they can grow and prosper. And if you're not offering that, you're going to have a very hard time converting people into your business. It's one thing to be able to sell an ebook or an information product where in and of itself the information product you're selling is what's being sold. With a network marketing business, what you're selling is a lot more than an opportunity. You're selling them a community, a place of people where they can bond with and grow together with. And if you're not providing that, then they're not going to join you.
That's beautiful. I love that perspective. And it, after talking to lots of people today, so many perspectives, I'm getting lots of different perspectives about this industry, but the thing that keeps coming back is the part that you're talking about, is putting yourself in a position where the work you do is to help that other person become successful. I don't know if I really said it right. Well, you were just saying it, just how you're not helping the person unless you're actually connecting with them and watching your downline grow that way. Mm-hmm. So now,
yeah, I mean, there's hybrids. It depends on your comp plan. Some comp plans are completely dependent on your team growing. If your team doesn't grow, you don't make any money. Bottom line. You're not paid anything to bring somebody in. Other comp plans are the exact opposite, where you make all your money up front. There is no multi-level, pretty much like an affiliate program, and so there's no incentive for you to help people. Therefore, you make your money up front and you're happy. That's essentially the internet marketing model. And then there's hybrids where you're paid some money up front, but the real money, the big residual, is in helping your team grow. So it actually kind of depends on the type of opportunity. Some opportunities or things you can get involved in are not community based.
So that's an interesting thing to know when you're talking to a prospect, if they have been in the industry before, is sort of what their background is, what their experience has been, because that's going to determine what you're teaching them for whatever business you have and for whatever kinds of success that they're going to have in the future too. Mm-hmm. How does and I'm kind of fascinated by the conversation that we're having, because when I think of you, I'm thinking, okay, MIT, I'm thinking technical computer, but what I do know about you is, so I'm like, okay, this guy, he's sort of the scientific side of, and the tech side and the numbers and all that about internet marketing. But what you're proving to me, and what I already know about you from reading other articles and just hanging out with you, is that just the whole the soulful part that you have. When you said in the Better Networker article how you said that you were able to recruit so many people just because you were the one who picked up your phone and called all the frat brothers, or the guys trying to, whatever they're called, the guys trying to get into the fraternity. And then now I really thought our conversation would end up being more technical based, but you're just you're talking about the human connection, and it just all goes down to, in this industry, that's what it's about. It's about connecting with people. Fascinating.
Yeah, it's funny because we have that engineering background, and we were good at what we did, but there's a reason why we left engineering. It was pretty void of the need to connect with people, and that's one of the reasons I left it. Obviously, all the other reasons of firing your boss and being independent and sleeping in and being able to be hungover in the morning, whatever your reasons are. But Uh, Most important thing, I work more hours now than I did as an engineer,
Right.
but the difference is I enjoy what I do, and the big part is because I'm affecting other people's lives. In addition, that the what's involved in marketing is understanding people. If you don't understand people, you're not going to be a very good marketer. So I enjoy that kind of deconstructing of someone's mindset, and being able to give them what they need. And in order to give them what they need, first you need to figure out what they want.
Right.
So that's if that's I guess that feeds the scientific side of me, that's still there and lingers, but it's still related to people. And all that just kind of gets absorbed in my brain, so that when I'm actually talking to people face to face, I'm that much more effective in terms of influence and being able to, create that bond with somebody, and whether it be forming a business partnership, getting somebody into my business, whatever the objective may be. But that's really what I know. I mean, that's what I specialize.
Mm-hmm.
Our niche that we kind of initially carved ourselves into was SEO networker, the SEO guys, the former engineers, the MIT pedigree, where we got all these degrees. That was the niche, but we would not have been effective in launching that brand and that product if we didn't know everything else about marketing and relating to people and connecting with people. There's lots of SEO people in the world, and most of them are the techies, and therefore they suck at selling, which is why there's so many bad SEO companies. And it's funny, the most successful SEO companies are the people that are really bad at SEO. They're really good salesmen, but they lack the skills. And so we just happen to be gifted in that way, and we also have two people raised very different from me. I'm more on the emotional people side of things, and he's more on the logical, formula oriented side of things. So we match up pretty well. So I would say we're pretty unique in not just this industry, but any industry as a whole, because we have both sides covered pretty well.
That's really nice. That's great. So tell me about the newbie who comes in and starts to have a hunger for internet marketing, for the technical side of it, and they pick up Traffic Cipher, your last product.
Mm-hmm.
What's the experience for them? For all the people who don't have Traffic Cipher out there, can you explain a little bit about learning SEO and learning what you guys teach? I mean, a lot of people are really scared, and because they haven't heard that it's proven that you can teach an old dog new tricks, so they're afraid when they get online. I hear this all the time. Oh, I'm this old, I can't do it. It's like, no, you can. So, what's that experience like for them when they're really starting to have this hunger for learning the technical side of it?
Well, if they're telling them they're old or that they can't do it for that reason, then there's really no hunger. They just have a wish and a hope that somehow they'll find something that's easy enough for them to be able to do and make some money. When the reality is they just have to get through the crap that they're telling themselves in their head and get past it and actually do it. And it's funny with Traffic Cipher, it's basically a beginner's SEO course. We launched SEO Networker Mastermind the year before that, and raving success, and it was pretty awesome. But the thing that happened was people got hung up on some of the technical stuff, and for some of them it was a little too advanced. And the other thing is just we gave them everything we knew, and that could be pretty overwhelming. So what we try to do in Traffic Cipher is strip everything down to the most basic things that somebody can do in order to create results quickly. And what we're trying to do is essentially give people that initial success, for many cases within days of getting started with Traffic Cipher. Make those few extra $100 or $1,000, and quickly set up a site that they can rank, generate some traffic, and hopefully convert to some sales or new reps. That was the goal of Traffic Cipher, to do the minimum to achieve the maximum result in a very short period of time. And the reason we want to do that is because we want to give that success, create that belief. Therefore, they will move on to things like the SEO Networker Mastermind and other courses and other successes that they'll have in this industry. That's one of the things in network marketing. When somebody comes into your organization, it's so vital that they experience some level of success within the first 3 months. Otherwise, they're out. There's no belief anymore. They kind of burn out. So that's essentially what we try to do with Traffic Cipher. And with that being said, we stripped it down to the most basic type of training and most detailed videos and tutorials that we possibly could without having to shoot ourselves in the head. And because it's like at some point it gets so detailed it becomes really boring, even boring for us to produce. And we stripped it down, and our pitch was literally on our webinars that we did. We actually kind of discouraged people from buying it, and the reason why is because if you keep asking yourself the question, is this for me? Can I do it? I'm this old person, or I'm a computer dunce, and they keep saying these things about themselves. And we essentially said, look, if you buy this course and you are just incapable of doing what's in these tutorials, we've made it so as simple as we can possibly make it. If you are just, it's not that you're dumb. It's like you're stopping yourself. And if you can't get rid of that mental blockage in your head, and you can't execute what's in this course, then you should just give up, because it's not going to happen. Entrepreneurs are serious people, and if that stops you, if you can't get past what's in a basic website tutorial video, then the chances of you achieving the success that you want is very slim. And that was how we closed the webinar. And it alienated a few people, of course. We get fewer buyers, but the people that go in and become students of Traffic Cipher become that much more committed, because they don't that thought haunts them that if they don't succeed with this, or at least get through the tutorials and get a website set up, that they're not going to be successful in this industry. That haunts somebody. And if there's any last words I want somebody to be thinking, is that because at least it's going to push them to put forth the maximum effort.
Right. So they sort of go in knowing that, hey, this isn't just a quick little two-step thing. I mean, I have to be committed to learning and growing.
Yeah, it's not the average pitch of like, this is easy, anyone could do it, all this stuff. We're honest, if you can't do this simple stuff, then you might as well get out of this industry.
So what do you think about, people say, become an asset, continually become an asset, keep learning more and more and more and more as time goes on. What happens to the person who's making money and they say, I know about this SEO stuff, I have a blog, I've got this, but my strength is, maybe prospecting or doing whatever. I'm just going to pay someone to do the SEO. What are your thoughts on that? Is that okay, or is it better to kind of know a little bit more about what that person they're paying is doing, because who knows where those, because that's a couple $100 a month for them. So, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, that's fine. It's always ideal when you know something about what you're hiring somebody to do,
right?
And you speak their language. But if you're so crazy successful and busy and have all this money to throw around that's not a priority, that's cool too. And we have plenty of clients that are like that. The toughest thing about outsourcing SEO is finding a company that's trustworthy. Again, the ones that are really good at sales, you got to watch out for, because they're specializing in sales, not SEO. So you actually kind of in some cases you want to go after the bad salespeople in the SEO world, because they're probably focusing more on the SEO side than the sales. Fortunately, we're pretty good at both. So we have a lot of clients, consulting clients, that come to us, and they've seen our stuff. They know we're good at marketing and sales, so we can offer them a perspective aside from just what they need to generate traffic. What comes after the traffic? If their website is crap, who cares about the SEO? Because you're not going to convert any of them to customers. So that's the thing, and we're really good marketers, obviously, or else SEO Networker wouldn't exist. So we can offer them that as well.
Well, you guys have pretty good personalities too. I think that has a bit to do with it as well. Yeah, so interesting. When did you start? Well, how many years have you been in the network marketing industry?
Since 2005, the end of 2005. Raymond brought me over to his house, and there were circles drawn, and I enrolled a couple weeks later. Like that's pretty much like just like anybody else, and we did it all offline first for the first like 9 months. We're pretty successful doing it in a very difficult company. This company was is a dinosaur compared to some of the other stuff, some of the companies coming out now. But we were successful doing it offline, but we were just burning out because it was just a tough sell, especially with our community of skeptical, egotistical engineers. You know, they're really smart people that think they know everything, and but the one thing they didn't know is how to create wealth, and that's all we cared about. So of course, our blinders to what they told us, you know, were up. We didn't want their jobs, so why would we listen to them? And you know, a few months later, we found magnetic sponsoring, just like a lot of other people, just like Norb and Brian. And you know, the rest is history. We just took action with what we learned, and that's the key. Some people have been consuming these info products much longer than we have, yet they're not finding success. And I would venture to say that it's not the info products of what they're learning. They already know everything they need to know. It's something else where they maybe have to go see Ryan Angelo to solve that issue, because it's not the marketing that's holding them back.
Yeah. And when did you start getting into mindset and just, you know, the right attitude? Was that from magnetic sponsoring, or is that sort of something you've kind of always been interested in?
Well, first and foremost, I've always been pretty philosophical, and I always want to understand what's going on around me. I was brought up that way, and you know, my father was my family would describe my father as the philosopher of the family, and so that's what I remember about my dad, about having those philosophical conversations and wanting to understand something deeper, and so that interest in understanding my surroundings and people carried over. And so going away to college and meeting other people, especially going from a world like East LA to Boston, especially all these colleges that are everywhere. Boston has like 52 colleges with international students from all parts of the world. It's a melting pot, and you're going to meet people from all over the world, different religions, perspective, political affiliations, or just straight out weirdos. And you got to be able to relate to all these people and connect with them on some level. And that was social training for myself. So first, the first part of my mindset that I had to train was about accepting other people as they are and being genuinely interested because they have value to offer me or a perspective to provide me. The next part about mindset was more had to do with you know, personal relationships, like romantic relationships where you get your heart broken. And I think one of the things I discovered is the reason why you're aching, especially if you're the one getting dumped, is because you're trying to figure out why. You're trying to figure out answers. Could I have done this differently, or this way, or I shouldn't have done that. That's why I got dumped. Whatever. These questions are swirling, and the pain comes from not being able to have answers to those questions. So that caused me to search deeper, and I started reading books on, you know, self-help books, personal development, and I started to discover a lot of answers. And it was as simple as biologically what's happening to somebody when they're in that type of situation, the chemicals that are firing off, the feeling of withdrawal when during a breakup, all that stuff, to the emotional side of things. And I just really began to understand what was happening to myself, and through that I was able to understand other people. And then the final thing was entering such a rough industry like network marketing, where you're just experiencing rejection after rejection and getting no's left and right and having people weigh you down. That was the ultimate training. And really, what are you made of? Are you really cut out to do anything worthwhile in this life? And if you are, then you'll survive this. And so that it was those 9 months in my first network marketing company where we were both getting the training, getting the personal development from stage from our trainers, and then in the trenches seeing what we're made of. And you know, from our downline, after we grew this big organization, when it was all said and done, Ray and I were the only ones still standing, and we kind of just looked at each other and it's like, yeah, I'm not ready to give up. Are you? No, okay, let's team up. And that was the beginning of our business. So it was really, it's a lifelong journey, and I can't really pinpoint one thing that, from a mindset perspective, that was it. But it was a lot of things that came together. But it really, it has to do with a commitment to self-betterment and just doing whatever it takes, and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and getting over it. If you're constantly somebody who's searching to go into comfort, and that's all you do, then you're never going to be successful, because you're at the mercy of the circumstance around you.
And so how does, you know, the partnership you and Ray have, even though you're different, but the partnership you have, I would assume, has been very helpful in carrying you both throughout these years. A lot of partnerships are formed at events, which is one really great, exciting reason to get to events. You know, Brian and Todd met at an event, and Adam Chandler and Jordan Schultz met at an event, and they've had great success within the last year together. Of course, there are plenty of people who go it alone, but you two have done it together. How does your business today and what you guys do differ than, I mean, obviously you've grown and you've changed and you've learned and you've matured, but are you, and you still have the same perseverance and strength and determination that you obviously had then, but what kinds of things are different now, now that you know more than what you guys were doing for your downline then in the beginning?
Wow, that's a loaded question. I mean, we made a commitment to grow as much as we could, to learn as much as we could, thirst for knowledge. I'd say since I got in network marketing for the first 2 years, I didn't watch TV, I didn't listen to the radio. You know, driving to and from work, all I did was listen to training.
Right.
And my family thought I was crazy because I have all these CDs lying around, and you know, for those 3 hours that I'm on the road, you know, an hour and a half to work and an hour and a half back, I'm listening to training. That's my university, like Zig Ziglar calls it. So it was just this like commitment to learning, because I knew there was something missing. And so it's as a result of that crazy, insane commitment to learning as much as I could, I'm at where I'm at now, and I can see things that beginners can't see. It's like you don't know what you don't know, and I'm constantly amazed when I speak to somebody that's just getting started, how far I've come, because sometimes it's hard for us to realize how much we've grown and matured and learned. We truly become experts at marketing and sales and this industry. But when you speak to somebody that's brand new, even if they're well educated, it's just, I'm always, you guys say, I'm impressed with myself, because I was like, wow, I've learned a lot. And so I offer that perspective, but also part of the art of knowing and understanding the craft of marketing is knowing where your customers are at, where your prospects are at, and they're starting from zero, so you can never forget. So you can never leave. You can never be a successful person that completely forgets where you started, because you're constantly reminded of it because of the people you're serving.
Yeah, very nice. Excellent, excellent. So you are going to be up on stage at Live the Dream 2 in Disney World. You and
Wait,
Ray.
I am? What? Really?
By the way,
Oh,
by the
okay.
way you're speaking.
I better put my slides together then. Jeez.
Oh, you've got a month, 50 days, whatever it is. So,
It's okay. One trip to the bar, I put them all together. No problem.
yeah, that's right. And you guys have we can do a little announcement here for you too. You guys have a breakout room.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we've got a breakout room with pizza and beer coming, right? Is that what's on the order?
yeah. The deal is people have to buy the tickets through us, so
Yes.
uh, that's the deal. But yeah, it's one of the things about Live the Dream, which is unique. So each of these events is an evolution of the next, and learning from the mistakes and taking advantage of the things that were done right. And one of the things that Live the Dream is experimenting with is just full on content. Basically, no breakout rooms, and instead have just from morning to night pack the house or pack the minds of everyone attending with as much content as possible from as many people as possible, and formatting it that way. And so but it's like, we're a little nostalgic, so and I know people really like the breakouts. So it's like, hey, why don't we have our own breakout regardless of what's happening? And so that's what we're doing. And it's not a 1 hour breakout, it's a 2 hour breakout. And we're teaching on traffic. And the funny thing is, we're teaching on non-SEO traffic. It's everything else that we do to generate traffic, and we're going to be doing that for 2 hours, workshop style, with pizza and beer, and for people who purchase through our link. So that's what we're
Very
doing.
cool. Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? I mean, what kinds of future plans do you have? SEO networker, how is it evolving? What's going to happen?
Well, we're going to have a little surprise at the end of our presentation as it relates to SEO Networker. So I'll just leave it at that for that side of
Very
things.
cool.
So SEO Network, if you want to know what's going to happen with SEO Networker, and be the first to know what's going on, so you can take full advantage of what we're going to do, be at Live the Dream. And so that's the side of things in terms of like as it relates to everyone watching this. SEO Networker is also an evolving company, so we're expanding our consulting business. We've done a lot of consulting within this industry, and some consulting outside of it, but we really want to make that a huge business. And it's a business founded on integrity, and because we see how many people are getting scammed left and right by supposed SEO companies, and it's a problem. And we have the credibility, and basically our names are everywhere in terms of people just searching for our brand or us as individuals, Ray and Ferny. And so that's something we see an opportunity to serve business owners of all kinds with our expertise and services, and do it with integrity, and essentially save them from all the shysters that are out there. So that's the other side of our business, consulting through SEO Networker.
Well, that's great to know. That's really great to know for everyone out there, because, just like in the network marketing industry, if they know someone, they know you. So they can always, because I can think of a few people already who have businesses out there. It's like, oh, perfect. That's a great idea. It's a great idea.
Absolutely, and we don't have a bad review. That's the most amazing thing. You think that after doing business for this long online, that somebody would find a reason to slap us, and we don't have a bad review out there, which is great. So our brand is really well established and with a lot of fans, and it's awesome. So that's something that's going to be unique, in that our potential clients can see how well we've served people over the past couple of years in this industry.
Right. People don't realize how little other people I think in this industry who we're all learning all this internet marketing. I don't think that when we get out there, we realize how little other people know about internet marketing, because we're so consumed by it. That's all, kind of live and breathe well, what magazine will I read? Mashable, or I read Wired, or this is all that I do. But when you get out there and you start talking to people, really big companies and big business people, they don't know a single thing about it. That's
Right.
what I found. It's fascinating.
Yeah,
So
there's some studies. I mean, it's crazy how in depth or quote unquote scientific marketing is getting. I was talking to a guy last night where he's involved in putting his clients into sensory deprivation tanks where they're in pitch darkness, and then get to like ask him some questions while he's sitting in the dark and floating in water naked or something. Crazy stuff so that they could come up with their customer avatar, so they can come up with the right offer for their product or something ridiculous. And I was like, well, that sounds cool, but and then he asked us, so what do you guys do to figure out what offer you need to provide for your clients? I'm like, what are you talking about, man? We just we put an opt-in page where there wasn't an opt-in page before, and their website visitors start opting in. That's like infinite improvement over what they had before. It's like we know so much about marketing in this industry, and people in other aspects of marketing are doing all this crazy stuff. But the bottom line is the majority of people don't have the basic fundamentals set up. And by just setting up those basic fundamentals, which we take for granted, their results will be huge because they're already an established business. And it's much easier to go into an existing business and make the modifications based on actual marketing principles and produce huge results. So that's the opportunity that's available for both our clients and for us. So yeah, if you've been around for a while and have been learning this internet stuff, you have value to offer regardless. So if this network marketing thing doesn't work out, don't get too bummed out, because there's a lot of people willing to pay you to learn what you know.
Right. Excellent. Excellent. Awesome talking with you. Great conversation, Ferny. Thank you so much.
You should see me after a couple of shots.
I have.
Aha.
But for everyone else out there, you can join us. We're going to be in Disney World, all over that little place, and we're going to be having a great time. Ferny Ceballos and Raymond Fong will be there, and we look forward to seeing you. So, Ferny, thank you so much for your time. It was great talking with you.
Oh, you're welcome, guys. And if you guys wanna catch us whenever there's no events going on, we'll be at the bar, wherever that bar is. We'll be there. A crowd will be forming. Yeah, Rox will be there too. So just come hang out, have a beer, and we'll talk shop until they kick us out.
Excellent. Perfect. I'm sure that we're going to be the last ones standing. The MLSP group of people will be in Disney World, the last ones at the bar every single night.
Yeah. Except the night before I'm speaking. I don't know when that is. So you guys got to tell me so I can plan.
Okay. Okay. We'll let you know. We'll let you know, like in 30 days.
I want to be well rested for my presentation to properly serve people, and then I can party.
Super. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, guys.